Yeah. Did you ever
Not
see
that.
something you didn't want to see in the army? Yes. ROTC cadets. Nothing against the program as a whole, but we had this annoying bag. Like, he came in coming from junior ROTC. He was fresh out of high school. I think he was 17 or 18. He was very, militarily inclined. He's gotten down a lot of the courtesy uniform and stuff, but oh my god. If he wasn't blind from how far he had his head up where the sun don't shine, I don't know how he saw anything. And he became the popular one, so to speak, but not in a good way. I mean, imagine being recognized by your drill sergeants for being a sack of ass. I mean, they couldn't fail him, though, because he was actually doing good. But I'm like, bruh, if you're planning on becoming an officer, I hope that either you get yourself straightened out and yourself, or I hope I do not ever fall under your leadership or supervision. So, salute to you. I did the best in every school I had to go to for the army because I wanted to be the best at what I can do with my job, as a leader, as a follower. But you could do so good in those schools and still come back lazy, complacent, rude, unprofessional, because it does happen. The army, we're not robots. We're not like in the movies where we're just marching and freaking saluting everywhere we go. No, we work, we laugh, we fart, we sleep, we eat, just like the regular humans, you know? Is there anything I didn't want to see in the army? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just complacency, a-holes, people like abusing soldiers, because it does happen. When I was in Fort McCoy, there was this gentleman who was not really good to his soldier, and I didn't confront the guy directly. Instead, I talked to the soldier and provided guidance, because this is something that I worked with, you know. And it's not that I was trying to protect him, because that was not the goal. It's just this soldier in particular, he knew what he had to do to speak up, and I was giving him that push because I don't know how much it would have helped to intervene directly, because once I'm gone, they go back together to their unit and maybe nothing will change. So I'm like, you know what? Let me guide him and provide insight so he can really stand up for himself, because I got pissed, dude. Like, especially on my second to last day there, this NCO was just being an absolute prick to him. Like, he does it just because he can, you know. This guy's this younger soldier. He's big buff dude, kind of, laid back football player stature, but unfortunately just mistreated, you know. So I told him, hey, if you need to talk to me, you let me know. I gave him my number. I provided guidance for him to talk to, a chaplain or his commander. I'm like, dude, if this is really being a problem, you need to speak up about it, because I can only do so much while I'm out here. If you're going to be staying with this guy in the army, in your unit, because they live far out of state, if you're going to be with this leadership for much longer, you should not be putting up with this, man. Because if he starts treating you like this, what's going to happen if he starts getting new soldiers under his leadership and he sees them as just dumb rocks, right? And that's not okay. I call things out as I have to, because I do not tolerate any form of harassment or abuse or even intimidation. It's like, don't be like guys like, hey, what you do in private? Like, one thing is kind of teasing a bit, because that's what happens. They're fresh out of basic training. They're used to being called out by drill sergeants. But once they go to the army, to the reserves or active duty, it's their workplace. They're done with the crazy pace times with drill sergeants, because the drill sergeant's job is to prepare you to fight in combat. No matter what your job is, you are an infantryman, you are a rifleman first and foremost, because you could be a medic, you could be a mechanic, a cook. If you're deployed somewhere and hits the fan, you're going to be going through weeks of training before you deploy to get back into those basics of rifle marksmanship, reaction to contact, just driving, just basic things that you should know on deployment, right? And how are soldiers going to be doing good if you're making them feel like dirt and making them feel like crap? I have to go to drill now, I have to go to work, and because so and so is going to be an ass, Yeah, Joko Boy even said so. Power tripping NCOs are the worst, and it's true. Sicko Taylor said, my dad was in the Marines for 25 years. And that's awesome, man. I hope he's doing well. I send a salute his way on behalf of the Panda Army, and I thank him for his service, man. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it weren't for him and everybody else who made the ultimate sacrifice and dedicated such a good portion of their lives like your father did. So thank you, and thank you to your father. I really appreciate that, man.